Frustration in a neighborhood in Northeast Harris County after chalk art meant to thank essential workers was removed. Some of the children in the Bridges on Lake Houston neighborhood wrote these thank yous on some of the picket fences using that sidewalk chalk. The colorful display showing gratitude to nurses, doctors, and teachers for their incredible hard work during the coronavirus pandemic. But those messages have been taken down. Neighbors tell us the Homeowners Association sent a crew to wash that art away.
The kids were very upset. It was something for them to do. They did it as a community. Hopefully we can get this cleared up and get the kids back out, because it really gave them something to do and made them feel a part to show appreciation and bring awareness to what's happening. I would love an apology from the HOA, absolutely. And maybe the HOA could supply some chalk and come out here and support our kids doing good things.
We wanted to reach out to First Service Residential, the company that manages the HOA. They tell us that it was a misunderstanding, and they offered this photo as part of their statement, saying, quote, "At the time the work order to have the chalking removed was put in, the messages were no longer legible and appeared to be graffiti. We support first responders and healthcare workers."
The debate over nonviolent offenders being released from jail continues. Tonight, a judge has issued a temporary restraining order blocking the enforcement of Governor Greg Abbott's executive order that would prevent pretrial detainees from being released on personal bonds. This, as Channel 2 Investigates, has been looking into violent offenders who are getting what some call low bonds before they're right back on the street. Channel 2 investigator Robert Arnold has more on these bonds and the judges who are granting them.
It's causing me to lose a lot of sleep, you know.
Raymond Balshowitz will turn 80 this year.
I've worked up my whole life. And then, you know, that's frustrating that somebody come along and just take it from you, you know.
Balshowitz owns this Crosby gun store. In January, a group of men robbed the business at 4 a.m. Balshowitz was next door in his house. He walked out, gun in hand, and warned the robbers.
I said, if you come out, I'll shoot. But you stay in there till the police get here.
Balshowitz says the robbers opened fire on him, leaving this thin tree as his only cover.
You see the bullet holes here, and they kind of wild shooting.
Several bullet holes in the store and his house remain. Amazingly, Balshowitz was only nicked. One of the suspected robbers, though, was shot and killed. Police believe he was hit by one bullet from Balshowitz's gun and one bullet from his cohort's gun. 17-year-old Angel Cardenas was eventually arrested and charged with murder.
This defendant is a threat to society, quite frankly.
That's a prosecutor asking for a $200,000 bond, which was granted. Fast forward 3 months, and Cardenas was released from jail on a personal bond. He was charged $1,800 in fees and is monitored by GPS.
I probably shouldn't say what I think, you know, but he needs to be stayed locked up, you know.
The judge who granted this bond is Deshaun Jones, the same judge who granted David Cruz a personal bond. Cruz is accused of murdering Christian Tristan in August. Like Cardenas, Cruz paid a fee and was placed under GPS monitoring. Tristan's family, however, was devastated.
It's like my son's life was no value.
So to go from 200 to being punted out with chump feed bond, I don't know how you can justify it.
Houston Crime Stoppers Andy Kahn has long argued against these type of bonds for violent felonies.
There's a disaster waiting to happen.
Judge Jones did speak with KPRC. While the law prevents judges from speaking about specific cases, the judge told us, "We are bound by the law. We have to follow the Constitution. A person is presumed innocent before trial and has a constitutional right to bail. You can't keep someone locked up just because they can't afford bail."
We don't support coddling violent criminals.
Just this week, law enforcement officers from nearly 20 different agencies gathered to express concern over what they see as low bonds for violent repeat offenders.
There's a train wreck coming for Harris County if we don't change what we're doing at that tier.
After hearing these concerns, Channel 2 Investigates wanted to know how many personal bonds are issued in felony cases. We looked at more than 8,000 felony cases filed in Harris County since the beginning of the year. According to district clerk records, 30.3% of these cases had a personal bond granted.
The numbers, quite frankly, shocked me. I wasn't expecting it that high.
To be clear, Khan says he's not opposed to personal bonds, just in cases like Aiden Campuzano.
You are here charged with a third-degree felony.
Campuzano has a lengthy criminal record, so when he was charged last month with being a felon in possession of a weapon and running from police, prosecutors wanted a high bond. He got a personal bond, was charged a little over $800 in fees, and released.
You better go to court. You better not do anything in any way, shape, or form that can get you arrested again.
That didn't quite work. Records show Campuzano picked up new charges of aggravated assault of a family member and, again, being a felon in possession of a weapon.
Yet we're continuing to release the same offenders time and time again to do what they do best, and that is continue their criminal career.
The felony court judges are independently elected officials, and when we checked the district clerk site, we saw there is a difference in the number of personal bonds being granted in the individual courts. We've got this breakdown, as well as a response from another judge on click2houston.com. Robert Arnold, KPRC, Channel 2 News.